What about investing through shares and other investments through a trust when you're offshore?
Look, really good question. So, being an expat in such destinations as Hong Kong and Singapore, one of the big advantages of living off here, living out here, is being capital gains tax free and income tax free on your investment. So, when you start with a position of no tax on the investment earnings, generally the need for a trust or a company falls away pretty quickly. So, with most of my clients, structuring for their personal investments, they're generally not thinking about that whilst they're offshore, but you do think about that as something that you are, as you're approaching a repatriation event. Setting up an Australian family trust just before you arrive back in Australia is something I do a lot for clients, and that might be to help them, rebase investments back in Australia. Once you arrive, you're taking that market valuation and basically setting it up and putting in a more efficient structure for when you're back in Australia.
I mean, that's one of the big benefits of living and working in Singapore and Hong Kong. No capital gains tax, no tax on dividends, no tax on interest. So to recap, Tristan, the main reason people use trusts now are income splitting or asset protection and estate planning purposes. The rules can differ a lot depending on whether you're living in Australia or offshore, but as always, it's important just to get advice and really understand for your specific situation, what does it look like?